Could too much copper in the school drinking water be making your child sick?
This is a potential risk that hasn't been on the radar of the people looking out for our children until now.
News Channel 5 Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams has the test results that have people talking. Phil.
Well, guys, for almost 2 years, Nashville schools have been testing for lead contamination, but copper hasn't been something that anyone has talked about. That all changed when a Metro Schools insider brought us a water sample from one fountain.
It's settled some. You can see the crud there.
Metro Schools maintenance worker Joey Combs brought us the water sample. A sample that he says he collected here at East Nashville Middle Magnet School from a third-floor water fountain.
That's the color that it came out. That if a student had just come in from playing outside and decided, hey, I want to drink a water, and ran up to the fountain, that's what they're going to get a mouthful of.
We sent the sample to an accredited lab for testing. In addition to lead, it contained 6,500 parts per billion of copper. The EPA says anything over 1,300 parts can make you sick.
We know that you can acutely get gastrointestinal symptoms, vomiting, diarrhea, my tummy hurts kind of things.
Dr. Mary Cowan is a pediatrician. She says she worries about school children who may have been exposed to high levels of copper. In addition to the short-term effects of gastrointestinal distress, the EPA says the long-term effects can include liver and kidney damage.
And we know that there is some data out there that says that it may have some psychological effects in terms of attentiveness or irritability, as well as the fact that you don't learn well if you've got a tummy ache now, do you?
There's a lot of kids that have been sick at the stomach at this school.
Lula Mosley, who has 3 grandchildren there, suspects the problem could be more widespread.
If that water is like that on the 3rd floor, trust me, that water's in the cafeteria like that, it's got to be on the 2nd and the bottom floor. It's got to be on each floor.
Is that something you would know to look for?
It's not something we would routinely test for in any way. I mean, it's typically not on our radar.
Metro Schools issued a statement assuring parents that the problem was due to a little-used fountain that is located in a portion of the building that is not used by students.
So would you feel comfortable drinking water with 6,500 parts per billion of copper?
I wouldn't want people to be exposed to that for any stretch of time.
Dr. Sunmi Areola is a toxicologist with the Metro Health Department. He said that because the East Middle building was constructed in 1929, it's not surprising that there might be a copper issue.
Most of the problems that we have with lead and copper are typically from older buildings.
With copper piping?
Copper piping, yes.
What we're doing on this one is basically collecting water samples for lead.
In fact, the school system does not test for copper, but because the lead and copper issues stem from a common problem, Dr. Areola says either test can be used by school officials to figure out if something needs to be done.
We can test for lead, we can test for copper, we can test for all of them. What's more important, though, is when we find these levels, we have to be diligent in taking steps that have been recommended.
Metro Schools has been replacing water fountains when it finds high lead levels. In this case, officials disconnected a couple of fountains. If the problem is in the pipes, however, one option would be to rip out those pipes and replace them, which could cost a lot of money. A cheaper option would be to install filtered water fountains in every school, something that the district has been reluctant to do. Vicki?
Thanks for that information, Phil. Now, if you have information for Phil on this investigation or anything else we should investigate, send us your tips. The email address, investigate@newschannel5.com, or you can call 615-244-NEWS.